Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. This is the spot, your favorite podcast, the place where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. We're in Switzerland today. Oh my God, it just makes me want to put on a parka and have a nice cocktail and look out at the Swiss Alps. And we are with Eva Schwerzmann. I'm so excited to have her. We've been waiting a long time to have this conversation. And she has been to California. She's been to San Diego, so she's familiar with the landscape. I've never been to Switzerland. I haven't been that fortunate. But I'm sure when I go, I will have the best tour guide ever. So Eva is a light worker and a spiritual life coach. Brains, we talk about this a lot. And I have my own personal beliefs, as each one of us should. But within that container, we need to know that there is light, that there is energy, that there is a force, there is a source that is greater and bigger than us, that has created all the universe, the stars, the heavens, and the individuals that fall in line with it. But to be able to have that gift, to be able to connect to that source energy, and to be able to translate that into human conversation that we can absorb is an extra gift. So I want to talk to Eva about that. How does that feel? When did she realize it? What is she pouring into other individuals? And what are some good takeaways that each one of us can use, no matter if you follow a religious doctrine, if you're spiritual, or even if you're an atheist? What is it that makes you bigger than yourself? So let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Eva?
Thank you so much, April, for being on your show. It's just a big pleasure meeting you and all the Light Tribe, the souls who are listening to your wonderful podcast.
Oh.
Thank you. I'm very fine. It's actually in the middle of the evening, but I've looked forward the whole day for this wonderful conversation and to talk to you all and share our light together.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I feel honored. Is it cold there?
Yes, we have snow. It's getting to snow outside. This evening it should snow actually very much. We will see it in the morning how it will looks like. It's cold and
What do you do there? I mean, there's a lot of snow. I mean, do you ski? Do you do snowshoes? Do you make snow angels? What do you do in all that snow?
well, down here where I live, we don't have so much snow, but up in the mountains there's a beautiful snow, so it's enjoyable to go for walks. I don't ski anymore. Snowmans I have done when my son was little, but at the moment I just enjoy to walk in the snow and to look at the snow and to listen to this calmness. Maybe you can hear, but I hear when it snows with this calmness, it's just a beautiful moment for me.
It's funny because when snow falls, it sounds different than when rain falls because you hear the wind kind of whispering and it kind of splatters, where the drops hit a little different. So it's a different feeling. I totally understand where you're coming from with regards to that. And, Switzerland is a very progressive country from what I hear as far as healthcare. You really are on the cutting edge. People will go to Switzerland to try alternative medicines. I hear that the quality of life, but I heard you got to have some money there. Is it expensive to live there?
Well, actually, Zurich is the most expensive city in the world. It's been said. So yes, it is actually very expensive here in Switzerland to live.
Do you have high taxes? Do you have to pay the government a lot of money, or do they let you hold
Oh,
on?
yes. And, it depends on the canton where you're living, because Switzerland has different cantons and each of the cantons has different tax amounts. And yeah.
So if I came to visit you in Switzerland, where would you take me?
Well, April, first I would go with you to Lucerne. Lucerne is just a beautiful town. I've been raised there, and it has old wooden bridges and old towns with houses which are very nicely painted. And the architecture is just so beautiful. And the lake, and we could make on the lake, we go with the boat and visit the whole lake around, going up to the mountain, having a cup of tea somewhere up in the mountain, or having a nice meal on board of on the lake side. And we were just having a very beautiful day together.
I love that. So you seem like you are immersed in beauty, immersed in calm and peace. How did you find your gift? How did you realize that you had the gift to be a light worker?
Well, April, actually started very early, but I come back to today because at the stage I am now, I realized that I've been gifted very early, but I did not recognize, because for me it was normal. But I sensed different, because I felt sometimes very much alone, and didn't felt understood sometimes from my parents or from other people. But what it was nice, when I was sitting on the bus station, for example, people came to me, sitting down next to me, and they talked about their life. So I was just sitting there hearing to them, and I felt people feel good when they're around me. And I've been told all the time. And I gave birth to my son when I was 28 years old. And since then, he was little. When he had some pain, he had always said to me, "Mama, can you hold me, please?" So I was holding his head or his knees when he was growing up, and his pain left. So he was always very, very happy with that. And through all my life, I've experienced a lot of different things, and also not very easy things. But I knew even though I felt sometimes also in the crowd alone, I knew I'm not alone. And I experienced a street time when I've heard a voice, for example, or when I saw an image, or when for example, I was driving in a very large tunnel, the Gotthard Tunnel in Switzerland. I was pregnant. I was very tired. I had to go to a training in the Italian part in Switzerland. And I fell asleep, and I haven't had the radio on in my car. But suddenly, when the radio is coming, like, I just woke up, and it helped me that I did not sleep. So, and one times I was falling down the stairs, quite a big down, and I was hurting myself very much. So I couldn't breathe, and I just saw like a tunnel on a light, and I've heard, "Stay up, breathe, stay up, breathe." And I followed this voice. And so I have experienced a lot of different things that kind, and which helped me always to go through the difficult time, or saved even my life. Once I was driving by car, my son was little, in the back seat behind, and it was raining an awful lot. I couldn't see anything anymore. I was on the other side to take over. I knew before is a car, behind is a car. I couldn't see anything, and I just knew I just have to drive the same as I drove. And I went through that too. I didn't have any panic. In those moments, there's no panic. There is just stillness and clearness, which is very incredible.
It is incredible, but what's more incredible is that you are in tune to it. There's a lot of people that have a sixth sense, that have intuitiveness or empaths, that they see danger before it comes. They're settled into it, but they ignore it. It's that fight or flight.
Oh, yes.
You have been able to navigate the landscape of life and go with this. So it, again, I can see how it has come with you from a child. When you say that you had, you knew this very early on, that you were different as a child. Could other people see the differences in you? I mean, do you have siblings? Did your mother notice something different? Did your boyfriends or your husband notice something unique about you and your character?
Well, they noticed, of course they did, but for them, I was always a little bit strange. So
Yeah, you were
it,
weird,
it,
and
it,
weird
it
is good.
they
Weird.
did not understood. And you know, April, what happens when I was angry at my parents? I was like a teenager in those, like 12, 13 years old. When I was very angry, I ran into my room, I snatched the door, and then I said, "You are not my parents." And I always thought, why I'm telling that you are not my parents? I mean, I knew that they were my parents, but I did understand later on because I know I am a light being in a human body. And so I know that I'm coming from Source, incarnating this light body to experience this life here on earth and to have been gifted with my parents and my brothers and sisters. I have two brothers and one sister. But I did not knew that I've been all gifted with that source energy and the source connection. I just did the best I could with that, and sometimes I felt not understood and very much alone.
And they'll say, "Oh, you're crazy," or or you're weird, or you're this, or you're that. People always want to put a label on it instead of just accepting that you are different, that you are
Exactly.
unique, that you're a powerful. And they try to strip you of your power and of your gift and make you second guess yourself. But what you have to do if you're feeling this way, you have to work with a trusted mentor or a coach or someone else that is in this light space. Because as they say, to whom much is given, much is required. Who was it in your life that helped you develop your skills and to become awakened and to be able to use your gifts and your powers, not only to help yourself, but humanity?
Well, I was starting after birth for my son with Reiki 1 and 2. And from then I went on to universal energy. And from there, I just went through my experiences. Actually, my life experiences showed me very much. And all those difficult life experiences were the most important pieces where I've learned and grown. Even if it wasn't easy, and there were times I was outside in the countryside and staring to heaven and said, "Where are you? I can't feel you anymore. Where are you?" And after that difficult time, those feelings, always I became an answer or a way who showed me to go forward. It could be through through a conversation with another person, through reading something, through watching a film, through getting some insights myself. So always something helped me. And so I went out to grow up. And with all the experiences I made, and then I learned Akasha Chronic reading, I've learned Theta reading, and also the quantum healing and sacred
Wow.
activations. So I'm also in medical intuitive learning. So I did a lot of things where I went through my experiences, all what happened. And yeah, I made it more easier to become. And, you know, I always say, I mean, a table is a table, but the meaning we give to a table, that makes the situation. So is up to me how I choose to think, to talk, and to handle, take action. And I have it in my hands for the outcome, more or less. When other people are involved, I have to go in the outer view and to sense, always be aware. Never shut the awareness down, always be aware, even if sometimes it's uncomfortable. But the awareness helps to be guided and to have just a trust, because I know, coming from source, that I'm guided, I'm protected, nothing can happen to me, and the source is always doing the best for us to our highest good.
And even if something happens to you, because we have to be realistic, everybody doesn't have the gift and protection that you or I may have. But even if something happens to you, the awareness, okay, listening to that sixth sense, listening to your intuition that, this could possibly be dangerous, or maybe I shouldn't eat that, or maybe I should listen before I speak, or maybe I shouldn't get involved, or maybe I should get involved. So you have to use your common sense, which isn't very common anymore, when you are trying to figure out the best direction. What do you suggest to people that are they're unsure right now, because the world is so tender, everyone is so angry, I mean, they go from fight to flight in a heartbeat. They don't give themselves time to rest and recalibrate, breathe, and work through the process. What do you say to those people to just kind of help them be more calm and be more centered?
Yes, this is the first thing you mentioned it, April. This is very important, that we just sit down, taking just a rest, maybe closing the eyes and just going into the stillness. And it's very difficult to go into stillness because our head always makes scenes up and chattering and talking. But just taking a break and just sitting down and just be. And with this being, just go and listen what is coming up, and taking also
But let me
a
ask a
few
question.
deep breaths.
I'm sorry, let me just kind of interject right there, because again, you asked for us to, excuse me, you asked for us to listen for the stillness. There's so much chatter going on in the monkey mind. People don't know how to just be still. And what I suggest to them is just be.
Mhm.
Don't have any expectations. And anytime something comes up in your head, just push it to the side. You can get back to that later. But it's finding that stillness, it's finding that's the hardest thing. That's why people say, oh, I can't meditate, because you can't be quiet, because you're always your mind or your mouth is always going. That stillness is very difficult for some people to find, even.
Yes, and also to really just, as you say, be, and from that beingness, not judging. As I say, the table is so a person is how she is, and it's a beautiful soul always behind a person, and a situation is, but the meaning we give to a person or to a situation, that makes it for us more difficult or not. When I talk in a negative way, when I think in a negative way, then I create it, because I am the creator of my life. I am creating with my thoughts, speaking, and taking action. And this is always to be we have to be conscious about that, and to
Some people
know.
tell us that this is a play, and we are a character actor, and we play a role, and we have an opportunity to rewrite our script.
Exactly.
We have an opportunity to skip an act. We have choices, we have options, but we're not giving ourselves the time. Time is something, I tell people, you'll get more money, you'll get more shoes, you'll go on other trips, but time, you've got a limited amount, and everybody has a certain amount. And if you can extend that by not wasting it, it's a benefit and it's a gift. Time is an illusion. When I read in the Bible, people live 700, 900 years. Now we live a tenth of that. If you are 70 or 80 or 90, that is a gift. What do you do for yourself? You've done a lot of the educational work, you've done a lot of the foundational things, you're helping others. But what do you do to really help yourself outside of the stillness? Do you exercise? It looks like you eat well, your skin is radiant. What do you do for self-care that makes you a clear conduit and a good vessel for people to channel through?
Yes, it is very important for me to look after me because I'm the most important thing. I'm the next to me, and for my body. I know I'm host in my body, and my body is my temple or my vehicle to be in this wonderful body. So I take care. I do meditations in the morning. I do yoga, and I go out. I have a wonderful dog, a Malteser mixed
Mm,
dog. So we go for walks, and sometimes I go to swim. I'm not a big swimmer, but I like swimming. Yeah, just those things. I'm not very sportive, but I look for what I'm eating. I don't eat any meat, for example, but I do eat fish, and I do eat healthy vegetable and food like that. So I always ask my body, what do you need? What makes you good feeling? Or when I have something in my body, I ask body, what is this ours? Is that feeling I'm feeling, is that ours? And I'm listening to my body. And when he has some aches or pains, I ask my body, why do you have this pain? Or with that pain, for example, when I have headache, uh, headache, why I'm here? What will you show me with that? So I always go into the conversation, or I try when I have really can sit down a little bit and go deeply in. Otherwise, I'm always I always try to be the observer of myself, to
mm,
observe how I am, how I react, how I be.
right.
So from there, I can adjust to the things for doing it uh, better, or for my body making easier or feeling better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. I totally understand. But I love that you ask yourself the question. You don't wait to go to a doctor and let the doctor tell you. You ask your body because, again, your body can heal itself. It talks to itself. Your subconscious mind holds about 4 or 5 other personalities that you have never engaged. So you've
Exactly.
taken all of these different modalities, all these different trainings. What is hard to pick, but which one is your favorite? What do you like to do the most when working with clients? What do you find the best results with? And I know each person is very individual, they need different things, but what lights you up? What turns you on?
Well, first of all, I created a program which is the I am the creator in. So it is means I'm the creator in creation, and I create through creation. And it is a holistic program. So I use all my gifts I have uh, in the one-on-one session, or in on a few groups when I'm working like 8 women together. I like to do groups with women, but also men are welcome if they are open to that. So I use all my tools, but I was thinking about when we meet today, I'm creating wonderful online seminar, which is sacred activations. Well, the Sacred Activation is a program which Tamara Oviatt received. I'm actually the first activation she received in 2012 in the Roslin Chapel in Scotland, and was given from source through Lord Metatron. And this is one of the 3 grounding core activations which are changing our sacred geometry in our body. So these sacred activations, today there are more than 600 existing. They're all about those programs, limiting beliefs,
Mm,
patterns, and all this structure we created through when we little, through the whole lifetime, even though back in earlier lives or through ancestral lives, and also through timelines and parallel universe. So there are activations once given, they are reprogramming our human computer to
Wow.
the original source conditioning. So it helps us to go over to all those programmings. And when you receive those activations, I just say activate an activation, and then I don't speak. So you experience this on your own, what you're feeling, what you get received as pictures or whatever. And then I go to the next activation. And those activations, they will run as long as they need. And integration time is like 4 to 6 weeks or even longer. So it is really a wonderful program to reprogram all our limiting beliefs, our behaviors, and getting more aligned with ourselves.
But let me ask you a question, Eva.
Yes.
You go through all of this, and when you finally settle into it, you're a whole new being. You have to settle into that as well. It's like a girlfriend of mine. She lost 140 some odd pounds. She had a difficult time because now this is a whole new person. You lost an entire person. Now you have to settle in, you have to adjust. People would still need to work with you to help them. Again, you've reactivated something that you've done for 50 years. You came out of the womb with this programming, with this mindset. Say, for example, what is very popular now, transgender. Here in the United States, people are having the ability to discover who they really are or who they were born to be. Because brains, whether you believe it or not, or you agree or not, people can be born with two X's or two Y's, XXY or X or YYX, that is scientifically proven. So now this person comes to this realization. That would be a really, really heavy subject. Everything about them is changing. When you're brought into this world, you're brought in as a male or a female, and you're assigned these gender roles by your parents. They see a little girl, they get her dresses, they get her dolls, they put pigtails. They have a son, he has a truck, he's taught not to cry, he's got to lift weights. And now you've got to reverse engineer that. That could be a whole mind trip within itself. And it could, I don't know, potentially be devastating. It doesn't always have to be positive. Am I wrong in assuming that?
No, you're not wrong.
That's a heavy load to carry. So you still need support. I don't want to say hand holding or coddling, because if an individual has made a determination and based upon their facts, their feelings, their findings, this is who they are. But going through that whole transition have you ever worked with anyone that's had that deep of a transition that they've had to make?
Yes.
And what was the end result? They finally grabbed hold to it, or they still struggle with it? I can't imagine how they might feel.
Well, I can show a case. A young man, 30 years ago, 30 years old. He wanted to leave the earth. He had really much problems, and he wanted to die. And his mother came to me and she said, "Listen, my son has a big problem. Maybe can you help him?" And I said, "Well, when he's ready, he can come to me." And I was helping him nearly 2 years. He came to see me regularly. I was working on him, on his body, because I'm doing also hands-on healing, and through all the coachings. And from the side of wanting to go, he regained the joy and the happiness, and he was able to help other people around him, because first they were always negative, and then he saw the positive sides in all those people. And through that recognition and helping others, he also grew in his development. So this is just a beautiful experiences.
It is. And I'm sure
Yes.
it is an aha moment for you. What is the joy that you feel? What is your reward? You know,
Well,
it's great to have the gift to do that, but I mean, does it make you, and be honest, you don't have to be humble, but does it make you feel powerful? Does it make you feel special? Does it make you feel rich? Does it make you feel exhausted? What does it make you feel to see the transformation in others that you work with?
well, the most joy and happiness I have when I can work with the people. And when I get the responses that they're feeling better, or after the conversation or after a treatment, and they writing me back a day or 2 days later, it helped me very much. Thank you very much for your kind being, and for your trust, your help, and or for the insights, or what we shared, it really happened, or it helped me, whatever. It's just a very nice gift. The most joy I have when I can do something good for people.
Mm-hmm. Well,
This is my biggest joy I have.
And in closing, Eva, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
Well, the most loving is just people have me in their hearts, and when they think on me, they feel a love and warm feeling inside them, so they're feeling good.
Well, you have made me feel good. You have. Please tell my brains how to get in contact with you, how to work with you, if you have a website, and we will definitely put all of the information in the show notes. But I want them to connect with you. I think that it would be a beautiful experience.
Thank you so much, dear April. So I have a web page. It's called www.effatha.ch. So it's www.effatha.ch.
I love that. I love your accent too, and you do very well speaking English.
Oh, thank you very much, April.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for your insight and for your perspective. I'm going to go in, I'm going to look at the website myself, and just really kind of direct people to a place of peace, a place of harmony, a place of just stillness, and a place to just be. I want to thank you for being here with me and my brains on the edge. Brains, go in and listen to other edgy conversations. We want to share the best that the world has to offer all over the globe. Like, love, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. If you don't believe in it, you need more evidence, we'll direct you that way. If you think that this is super fantastic, share with a friend. Thank you so much, Eva, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. You are a gift to the world. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much, April, for your wonderful conversation, having me on the podcast, and thank you all to your listener. Thank you very much.
When I come to Sweden, I'm looking forward
Switzerland.
to that. I'm Switzerland. When I come to Switzerland, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, please contact me.
And some chocolate.
Oh, yes, and all the nice things we have here.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Bye,
Thank
Brains.
you.
Have a good day.
Bye, Brains. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.